Let us continue from page 16, right hand side, second paragraph. Earlier we read and learnt that Bertie, a 22-year-old boy, claims to be the second son of Mrs. Saltpen Jago and asks help of 3 to 4 pounds from Philip, who is an acquaintance of Mrs. Saltpen Jago. Philip tells Bertie that he can manage helping him with the amount, to which Bertie gets very happy. He felt lucky that he came across one of his mother's friend and could save his trip from getting ruined. He said that he will be learning a lesson for life to not leave his wallet ever again. Bertie had left his purse at home after sealing an envelope with the crest on the purse. Crest means seal, a sign to show a royal family. Special company seals. It signifies and is equal to a signature. Like India has the 3 tiger face with Satyamev Jayate. Bertie needed money for all his expenses at Bronque. Expenses like taxi, hotel, tips, bills, and his ticket to reach back to Brill Manor. He requests Philip to give him money to save him from any troubles, and he would be very grateful. He says it will put him out of her hole. It's a phrase, pull me out of a hole, which means to recover from a difficult situation. Philip thought about it and hesitantly said that he could manage and was ready to help Bertie. Hesitantly means a little doubtful. Philip asks Bertie, what is his crest? Bertie replies saying that their crest is a common one. It is a demi-lion holding a crosslet in its paw, just like you can see on your screen now. Philip was a little doubtful now because he says that when he received a letter from Mrs. Saltpen Jago, the crest she had put was a running greyhound. Running greyhound is also an animal. When he said this, there was a tinge of coldness in his voice. Tinge of coldness means when one speaks emotionally, the voice trails off, becomes a little low. Bertie told that the running greyhound is the Jago crest. He also informs that the demi-lion is the Saltpen crest. That meant that they had 2 crests. One was a Saltpen crest, the demi-lion, and the Jago crest, the running greyhound. Both the crests belonged to Mrs. Saltpen Jago and family. The royal family had the right to use both the crest. But Bertie liked to use the demi-lion because he was proud to be a Saltpen. Listening to this, both were quiet for some time. Philip saw that Bertie started collecting his fishing equipments and all his belongings. Bertie tells Philip that his station is the next one. Philip says that he has never met his mother, Mrs. Saltpen Jago, though they have corresponded several times. They just talked through some political friends. Philip says he wants to know how she looks so he can recognize her on the station if she comes to pick him. Bertie answers that she is supposed to be like him. She has dark brown hair and high color. And the train had stopped. So Sletherby wished goodbye to Bertie. Bertie says that Sletherby needs to give him the requested amount as he opened the door and kept his suitcase on the platform. But suddenly Philip said that he never wished or had any intention to lend him any money. He changed his words. That means Philip was only checking on Bertie by asking different type of questions because he was doubtful that Bertie was lying that he was the younger son of Mrs. Saltpen Jago. And to all his doubts, the answers of Bertie was a clearance that yes, he was lying. Bertie told him that he said he would give him the money. That means Philip had requested Bertie to give the money. Philip said that yes, he had. But as he spoke to Bertie and questioned him, he was just clearing his doubts. He said that he got doubtful when the crest was wrong. Then Philip planned a trap for him and made a story that he had never seen Mrs. Saltpen Jago. He had seen her and she looked totally different from what Bertie said. She was fair and had golden hair. Sletherby was very cautious. He was under the suspicion of a foul play. Under the suspicion means being doubtful that he was bluffed. Bertie gets down furiously. Sletherby thinks highly of himself that how he will discuss his strange incident with other guests in the dinner and will be appreciated for his astuteness. Astuteness means cleverness. This will increase his chances of being chosen as a party member. He was imagining telling everyone about his adventure in the train and how he saved himself from getting bluffed by a young boy. While he was thinking all of this, the train drew up at his destination. On the platform, Philip was received by a man called Mr. Claude People, who was a professional lawyer working for Mrs. Saltpen Jago. He was a tall but talkative man with a beautiful and luxurious car. He tells Philip that even he is going to stay at Brill Manor till Monday, so they can have a round of golf together the next day. On their way to Brill Manor, he talks about all the luxurious feature of his expensive car. Now please remember that all of you need to know the details of the car, so listen this carefully. The car which won Claude People's approval was a sumptuous looking vehicle. Sumptuous means luxurious, which seemed to embody the last word in elegance, comfort, and locomotive power. That means it was beautiful, comfortable, and had a great speed. Its graceful lines and symmetrical design masked the fact that it was an enormous wheeled structure combining the features of a hotel lounge and an engine room. that the car was totally luxurious, just like a hotel lounge. He says that time has changed so much. Our grandfathers used to travel in horse-drawn carriage, and now they are traveling in such luxurious cars. Now Claude people started telling Philip about the chief points of perfection in the fitting and mechanism of the car. Sletherby was not listening to a single word because he was busy looking at the two crests which were displayed on the door panel. The two crests were a running greyhound and a demi-lion holding a crosslet. Now what's funny was the two crests were of Saltpin Jago family. Claude people continued speaking about all things like political gossip, personal anecdote, and general observation in an uninterrupted stream. Anecdote means stories. Uninterrupted means without any stoppage or interference. On further inquiry, Philip comes to know that she electrified everyone with blonde hair and that Mrs. Saltpin Jago's old hair were brown, just like Bertie had described. She turned her brown hair to golden just 5 months ago. Now Philip realized that Bertie had not lied to him. He realized that Bertie was really the second son of Mrs. Saltpin Jago. He realized that he had mistaken him for a fraud, and now he was silent and speechless about his shot in the dark. The irony here is that he felt very brave and intelligent when he left Bertie and did not pay him a single penny. But in reality, he did a foolish act and lost all his hope of becoming the Member of Parliament. So children, I hope that you have heard the lesson. I have explained paragraph wise, line by line. If you have any doubts, note your doubts and keep it with you until we meet. Stay blessed.